Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this cute little treat box using the Scary Cute stamp set found in our mini catalog. This box will hold plenty of Halloween goodies for somebody special. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. For this project, I'm going to start by scoring, and I am going to score the box bottom at the 1-inch mark on all 4 sides. I'm going to set that to the side and bring in my designer series paper. Now this designer series paper is double-sided and you can choose the side you want. This is the top of the box and we're going to score it the same way at 1 inch on all 4 sides, simply by turning and scoring. Now this is designer series paper, so you'll want a little lighter touch than what you would use for the cardstock so you don't tear through the paper. Now that I have that done, I can set my scoreboard to the side. To build my box, I'm going to come in and use my paper snips, and I'm going to snip on the 2 long sides on that score line, and I'm going to take out a small wedge. And then turn over to the other side and repeat. And you want to be taking the wedge out of the small flap that you are going to be folding to the inside. Once I've got the top done, I'm going to repeat that on the bottom. Once I've got the pieces cut, I'm going to bring in my bone folder and score each of the lines with the bone folder to create a nice, tight, sharp crease. And at this point, you can take out those little pieces as needed. I've got the bottom done, and I'm going to repeat that same process on the top. First by folding, and then using my bone folder. I've got my 2 pieces folded and scored, and so I'm ready to start assembling. I'm going to be using multi-purpose liquid for this, but you can also use tear and tape. But for the video, this is just a little faster. And if you'd like, you can even cut a wedge out of the top of the flap here in case your scoring isn't perfect. So let me do that real quick. There we go. Okay, I'm going to add adhesive to this small flap and fold down and hold. And I'm going to repeat that on each side. I'm not putting that much adhesive on because I'm doing this for a video and I want the dry time to take a little less than if I did too much adhesive. Fold in those sides, add the adhesive, and fold down and hold. Now if I have a little adhesive on the outside, you can just simply wipe some of that excess off and pop that with your embossing buddy. I love the embossing buddy. It'll put a little bit of powder on that, and as long as you do it lightly, you won't see it. I'm going to repeat that process with the top. So I'm going to start by adding some adhesive to these little flaps and folding those in and holding and repeating on the other side. If you add a little more adhesive, you'll simply need to hold it a little longer because it'll take it a little longer to set up. There we go. The last side, I'm going to bend this back, fold those in. 1, 2. Now I like to decorate the lid of my box before I assemble, simply because it's a little easier to press down, but you can do it with the box assembled first also if you prefer. Okay, I've got my lid to my box and my bottom, and this will slide right over and set on top. Isn't that a cute little box? And it's big enough to hold quite a bit of chocolate or your favorite Halloween candy. I'm going to start my stamping with the sentiment. I'm going to ink up my sentiment using the tuxedo and stamp. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in the little line of trick-or-treaters here. Make sure that I don't have anything on the image and stamp. Sometimes if there's some hair or fuzz, that'll get into your image, and on a solid one like this we want to make sure it's good and clean. So there we go. I'm okay with that, and we're ready to start assembling our box. I am going to adhere my basic black panel onto my granny apple. And then I'm going to adhere this onto my box. At this point, you'll want to put your little treat in the box so that it's already in there and you're ready to go, since we're going to use the baker's twine. And I'm going to take some of this baker's twine, wrap it around my box a couple of times, and tie into a little bow. I want the bow off to the side here so that I don't have to move it a great deal when I get my sentiment panel on. Okay, my sentiment panel is going to go right here, so all I have to do is slide this over a little bit, spread it out. There we go. And trim the ends, and I'm going to leave those a little long so that it can be retied easily. I'm going to bring in my sentiment panel here and pop it up using my Stampin' Dimensionals. This will allow that ribbon to flow underneath it so they don't have to damage the box. So I'm not going to put any dimensionals here, but you could put some on the outside edges if you wanted more support. The main thing is you don't want to grab that baker's twine if you want the box to be able to be opened and closed without damaging it. I'm going to lift that bow up, bring this in. And this is a tight margin on this particular panel, so you'll want to make sure you're getting it nice and neat. Okay, next I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and pick up a couple of these black dots. I thought they were perfect to use with this particular treat because of the fact that they mimic the polka dots. I'm going to set one on the right here, and I'm going to set one on the left just to add a little bit of texture and interest to the box top. So there you go, a quick and easy treat using the Scary Cute stamp set found in the mini catalog. I think you'll really enjoy creating treats using this bundle of products. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.